With the first pick in the 2004 NBA Draft, Dwight Howard from Southwest Christian Academy.
What was the vision, back in that house?
Vision back in my house growing up was really being one of the greatest to ever play basketball. One of the greatest to ever play.
Dwight Howard, that is a great play. Play of the game, right there.
He was in the draft after post last year in rebounding.
All that hard work, all the energy that I put into that, it paid off. And I get to live my dreams.
The Bible says, write down your vision and make it plain for the world to see.
Something we always do, even with guests like yourself, is just to introduce yourself, what you do, and a little bit about yourself.
This is Dwight Howard, AKA Superman. I am from College Park, Georgia via ATL. I played professional basketball for almost 20 years now. Played in the NBA for 18, 19. Played in Taiwan, Dubai, Philippines.
You started playing basketball without any hoop.
I started playing basketball without a hoop. I wasn't able to, we didn't have a hoop outside. So there was two things we did in the house. We would take a hanger and we would stick it on the top of the door and we'd kind of make it into try to make it a circle as much as possible. And we would take socks and that would be our basketball. We would roll the sock up like a little ball and we would play sock basketball. We did that for a couple years till my dad was able to afford a basketball goal.
I would say I was 10 years old when I started writing my goals and my dreams and visions down. My first goal on the list was to be the #1 pick in the draft, in the 2004 draft. One of my other goals, and it wasn't like I said, this is my goal. I put, it shall come to pass. Like I wrote it out, and it came to pass that I was the #1 pick. It came to pass that I was the #1 high school player in the nation. All these things that I had written down, it came to pass because I seen it. That's why I was able to write it down. I believed it. I believed that nobody was going to be better than me coming out of high school. I believed I was going to be that #1 pick. I believed I was going to make the most dunks in NBA history. All those different things. I believed it. And if you have that belief, that can really take you longer than anything else because you believe it.
Me and my brother would go into the middle of the street and we would play this game called the shaking game. And our goal was whoever had the basketball would have to shake off the other defenders. So basically, you got to try to make a move and get past the person playing defense. And you only had the street width. So as wide as the street was, that's how much space we had to go left and right to try to get past whoever was checking us. And it was just me and my brother. So they helped me work on my defense, hand-eye coordination, being able to move in tight spaces, all those different things. We did that every day. And it kind of just gave me this fire to want to stop people on defense. And so that's why I became so good at defenses, because I never wanted my brother to pass me or anybody who was playing me. And that's how it started. That's how the fire started. And it wouldn't stop. It's still there now.
A lot of people didn't know this, but the school I went to, in order for us to pay for tuition, my dad started a cleaning business, and we cleaned the school up that I went to. We would clean the school, and then there was another school that we went to every night and cleaned up. And that was like our kind of way to get some cash to pay for school. So I didn't get to go to my school because I was good in basketball. I actually had to go work and pay. We weren't getting paid that much, but it was the only way I could have got into my school. Clean the school, vacuum, take out the trash.
When I was young, I used to have my head in the clouds all day just thinking about what I could be, what sport I could do. who I can become when I get older. And I was just always in this state of like, I can be anything I put my mind to. And that's what we were taught. You know, as kids, we were all taught the same thing. You can be whatever you want to be. But then it's like when you get older, the first thing they say is, nope, you can only be this or that, you know, something like that. So, you know, I've always had that mindset as I can be whatever I put my mind. I had a teacher tell me I sucked and I wasn't gonna make it. I wasn't gonna be nothing but a dumb jock. And I was only in the 4th grade. And I had a teacher tell me that. And he said, you ain't gonna be nothing, Dwight. You just nothing but a dumb jock. And I was like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna go to the NBA and I'm gonna see how dumb this jock can be. And that was my mindset. I worked so hard, and I just remember him saying that every single day. You're a dumb jock. You're never gonna make it. But hearing somebody say you're never gonna be nothing and telling you that you suck as a 4th grader, and I wanted to prove to him, myself, and anybody that doubted me that I was gonna make it. I didn't have a TV to watch basketball games on it. So it wasn't like I was able to see I rarely saw basketball growing up because I didn't have cable. I didn't have no way to watch the games. I wasn't able to watch, and the only thing I had was this Magic Johnson workout tape. And I would watch that, then I would go outside and practice all these things. And so I was in the 10th grade, and I remember one of the ladies who coached our track team, she worked with Magic Johnson. And she said, hey, Magic Johnson's gonna be in town. I know you would love to meet him. And I'm like excited, yeah. And I get there and I see Magic. I'm like, hey, Magic, man, I'm gonna make it to the NBA. No, you ain't. You ain't gonna make it to no NBA, boy. What you talking about? And when he said, I'm like, dang, that's pretty mean. But you know what? I'm gonna show him that I'm gonna make it to the NBA. And I started running a lot, running hills, doing sprints up hills, doing sprint down the hills, running 400s, 800s, miles, all these mile repeats, all these different things was to help me prepare for the NBA. I had friends, but I wanted to go to the NBA. That was my goal. So it was like I had to let my friends know, like, this is what I want to do. Like, I'm sorry, nothing else matters but this. I was really headstrong when it came to being successful and making it to the NBA. And I think any person in life, if you want to make it, you gotta have some type of stubbornness, some type of selfishness in order to get to where you're trying to get to. Not saying you have to be like that in your personal life, who you are every day, all day, but you have to be selfish with your dreams. You got to be selfish with your goals, because this is your life. This is you. So when you have that opportunity, you can't let nobody take it away from you. I was constantly outside hooping. When everybody left, I was still out there. I was out there all night shooting, dribbling, working on everything I could, because I just saw myself in the NBA.
I was out there every day. Rain, sleet, snow. I was out there. And because of my patience, my hard work, and my sacrifice to the game, and sacrifice in life, I don't think people understand how much you have to sacrifice to be successful, how much you got to sacrifice to make it to the top. It's you basically sacrificing your whole life. Your soul, your mind, your will, and your emotions, they're been given. You've given those things to whatever you're trying to be successful at. My mind, my will, all my emotions are put into this one thing for a set period of time. Yeah, I sold my soul to the fact that I want to be the best that I could be. Not selling my soul to anything else, but selling my soul, my mind, my will, and my emotions to greater things, to greater heights.
My belief that I was going to make it, because I had people telling me that I wasn't. And so it's like, man, I know the odds gotta be in my favor. I got too many people trying to say that I can't. And I'm the only one saying that I can. And so it gotta happen. And I worked on it until it happened.
Tonight, the bar has been raised by Dwight Howard.
That Dwight Howard, number one player. Dwight Howard has been a presence around the rim.
Do you remember the first time you went from a small high school to the league, like the transition where you was like, this is different?
The draft.
With the first pick in the 2004 NBA draft,
When my name was called and I walked across that stage,
Orlando Magic select Dwight Howard from Southwest Christian Academy.
that's when the target went from like this to like that. It was crazy. And you know, you don't know how to deal with that coming in. I went from the tiniest school in Georgia to playing professional basketball in the NBA and being known worldwide.
How does the dream compare to the reality?
It's really hard to explain, you know. Thank you just for allowing me to sit right here.
I go from $0 in my bank account to millions of dollars. And I'm like, how many O's is this? What do I do with this? You know, how?
I used to wake up at 4 o'clock every morning, get to the track, run for an hour, then go practice basketball for an hour, then go to school, and then train after school, try to rest, and do it again, repeat. That was my cycle. That was my consistent energy and effort that I was building to put into something. So when I got to the NBA, I was already ahead of the game.
And so I've had this warrior mentality my whole life. And it's like, this warrior mentality is to fight until you expire, till you're dead. And that's the mindset that I've always had, you know, just always go the hardest as you can. Give everything that you got for whatever that purpose is. Your teammates, your family, whatever your why is, be that warrior and fight. And it's helped me get to so many different places, especially in the NBA, because you gotta have that mindset to be at the top. You gotta have a warrior mentality when you're playing. Now, did I smile on the court? Anybody who played against me, they know I'm a warrior on the court. I'm gonna throw elbows, I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna talk trash, and I'm gonna smile.
His fourth title, Fisher as well. These two will join Shaq and Duncan as most championships among active players. And I like that Phil Jackson leaving this group on the floor, letting him get one final ovation. The shot clock's going to wind down, and then the Magic will inbound. Many of the Magic fans still.
After we lost, I sat on the bench and watched the Lakers celebrate on my home court, me and my teammate. And I went home. I just kept saying, God, why? Like, I thought you was with me. He's like, I'm always with you. But that don't mean you supposed to win the championship. Sitting on the bench, seeing Kobe jump up and down, seeing the confetti come down, seeing them rope off the court so they can give them the trophy. I went home and cried, and I listened to Eminem's You Only Get One Shot. Yeah, I was listening to it all night, and I was like, man, that was my one shot. I ain't gonna have no more shots, man. Kobe just deflated my whole life. He dunked on me when I was a rookie. won the championship, left me here sitting on the bench to cry in front of my hometown fans. I was hurt.
Why watch them though?
For motivation. Like that was like, I'm gonna come back next year and I'm gonna destroy all of them.
The prospect of not being able to play again, I'm guessing that the pain was that bad.
Oh man, the first time the doctor did tell me, he said, Dwight, you might not ever play basketball again if you don't have surgery. And by tomorrow, you never play basketball again. I literally could not do a calf raise. I couldn't lift my leg up at all. And I was like, man, it's over with. I sat in the office, big shoulders, big muscles, little head, crying because I wasn't gonna be able to play no more. I never forget the doctor coming in there and saying that. And I couldn't believe it. Like, man, my career is over with. I started at 18. I'm only 26. What am I gonna do? I don't think people understand the pain that you go through when you're dealing with your back. It doesn't just affect your back, it affects your whole body. It affects everything. I couldn't sit down for more than 10 seconds. I had to travel with the team. They had to give me an air mattress. I had to put the air mattress on the plane to lay down because I couldn't even sit on the plane seats. I couldn't sit down on the bench. I had to either stand up or lay down. When we had to travel on the bus, I had to stand up the whole bus ride. And I still played. Like I still was playing games throughout this whole process. The pain was so bad. Somebody had to put on my shoes before the game. Somebody had to put on my socks and my shoes so I couldn't even reach down and do this to put on my own sock and shoe. Somebody else had to do it for me. And I was still going out there playing with this pain. And then it got to the point where it was so bad, like I would go home every day and I'd be crying. Like, why is this hurting so bad? Like, why? And I'm like, but I still gotta go hoop. So I'm going to work out still. I'm still doing all the regular stuff. When I got back, I was in so much pain. Taking a shower, I was in pain. Everything I couldn't, there was nothing I could do. I had to lay down and eat. So they brought my food, I had to put it on the floor, lay down, and try to eat my food. Flew out to LA, had surgery. Back surgery that I had is supposed to be a year recovery. A year to recover. And I recovered in 4 months. I remember talking to Denzel and he said, if you pray for rain, you got to be able to take the mud that come with it. So you pray for rain, yeah, it's good. You got this rain, but once that rain hit the ground, that mud is coming. What are you going to do when that mud comes? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to act when those trials happen? So failure, it teaches you what to do. I think the trials and the tribulations are a part of success. I think a lot of times people in the world, like on Twitter, Instagram, and all that stuff, they see successful people, but they only see all the good things. They see the cars, the houses, all the nice watches, clothes, whatever comes with success, people see that. But what also comes with success is tons of failure. It's tons of nights where we're crying. There's always a battle going on with us in our minds. And we have to choose daily. And it starts with our spirits. You know, who is feeding us? What spirit are we listening to? Everything is a spiritual battle. Nothing happens in the flesh unless it happens in the spirit first. When it rain outside, it don't rain all day. Even when the sun come out, the sun don't stay out all day. It's going to be a time of darkness. It's going to be a time of rain. It's going to be earthquakes. It's going to be a time for everything.
The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. So your thoughts are super important. How you think, how you see yourself, your perception. You can manifest whatever you want. It's just really how much belief do you have? You know, that's what sparks it. That's the spark right there, belief. You know, some people say they have to see it to believe it. No, you have to believe it first in order to see it. If you believe it, you'll see it. So I believe I was going to make it to the NBA. I believe I was going to be the #1 pick in the draft. I believe I was going to play for 19, 20 years in the NBA. And everything that I believed, I saw it. I seen it happen. I saw the end before the beginning. And that's why I'm here.
So it's like you always got to see it. You're the one driving the car. So you have to see where you're going. You got to see where you're going first. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe that you can do anything. And that's been my mindset.
On the manifestation list, like, was Olympic gold, NBA championship, were those things on there?
Everyone was on there.
What was the best one? Like, what was the best one, like, or the grandest one you was like,
winning the championship. Because it's like, it took me all these years to get this one goal that I had wrote down every year. So that's what I'm saying. You never know when your time is going to come to hit the jackpot or the lottery or the things that you're trying to get to. Because it's like you thought about this moment so much. I'm going to win the championship. And you win, it's like, oh, I won the championship. I'm telling you, what it is the whole process to get in there. Because remember, in my mind, I already seen us winning the championship.
When I was young, I always wanted a place with some land. And I always dreamed about having some trees, a big yard. And dreams come true.
How big was the garden you grew up with?
The garden?
Yeah.
I never had one growing up. I didn't have too much of anything growing up. But love. We showed a lot of love at our school, a lot of love in our church, a lot of love in the family. So we grew up around, really good energy. And then also kind of gave me my little nice giving, loving spirit is how much love we was around when we were taught growing up. Faith was kind of like our cornerstone, our foundation. Everything was centered about faith. Faith with learning, faith in trials and tribulations, faith of a mustard seed. Mustard seed has so many different components and what it can do. So we thought a mustard seed was only going to sprout into a big tree, but it has so many other components of a mustard seed. It's very small. So we was always taught to have the faith of a mustard seed. That mustard seed can do so many different things for your body and for the world. So we was always taught to have that kind of faith. Unshakable, unbreakable faith that anything, any obstacle can be moved. That's kind of how I used to live my life. Faith to have the strongest strength, stronger strength, but now faith to have the strength of 10 lions. Faith to be the #1 pick. Faith to come out of high school and defy all the odds. You gotta have faith.
Nobody's gonna knock me off my pivot. And that's something that I always tell my kids. You can't allow somebody to make you crash out, somebody to move you off your pivot. You gotta be decisive and stick to whatever it is that you want to do in life. And you have to learn those lessons as you're growing up, because it's very tough. I could have been the kid to say, you know what, he's right. Maybe I do suck. But that's where you gotta have a strong mind and a strong will. I think your will is the most important. You gotta have a strong will. And I'm a very strong-willed individual. And your will is what keeps you alive. That's your hope. That's what keeps you alive, you know, so that's what kept me alive. I think that you are born with it. It's in you. That spirit is in you. And I think all of us have that spirit in us, but it has to be awakened. Somebody has to call on it. Call on it. Somebody has to call that spirit out of you to pull that greatness out of you, because all of us have it, but it has to be pulled out because it's dormant, you know, and there's so many distractions and so many things to keep us from fulfilling our destiny that I think the world wants to see us succeed. No. So they're going to give us so many different distractions to keep us from awakening, remembering who we are, and completing the purpose of why we're here. I try my best to give to any person that I meet or come across. Just be great. Whatever it is in life that you're doing, try to be the best at it. Be great at it. And walk in it. Walk in your season of greatness. I don't have to settle for being second best. I can be the best. I can be the greatest. And that was the mentality. No matter what anybody says, from the most popular people to the person that nobody may never know, none of their words or anything can change my destiny and my purpose. Only I can do that. Only I can control what I can't control. I can't control other people's emotions, what they're saying, what they're doing, how they respond and react off me. I can only control what I can control.
The material things are more so the success that I've acquired over the years, not monetary, but the success from wanting to do this since the age of 3, having a dream and having a goal and a vision and seeing that vision all the way through. So my house and the things I have is a testimony to that. Now, for me, even though I do have all of these things, I understand that it's something that is just physical. It's material. And I can't take none of this stuff with me once I die. And so I do not allow the things that I have, the things that I've had, to change my perception of the world, but also make me more humble. All this stuff did not come from me, came from God. And at any moment, he can take it away. I've experienced that in a lot of areas in my life. So the houses, the cars, again, they're going to get rusty, they're going to get dusty, and they're going to fade away. But my integrity, my character, my spirit, those things live on.
Thank you for watching the documentary. As always, these documentaries aren't possible without our sponsor, Huel. Huel is a quick, affordable, nutritionally complete source of food with everything that your body needs. This is the Huel Black Edition that I drink every single day. It's got 35 grams of protein, 26 vitamins and minerals, and some slow-release carbs in there. And I use this for my training. I use it to break the world record. And I also use this when I travel around the world and make projects like this, to know that I can go in my bag and grab a bottle and have everything that I need in a moment's notice has been an absolute game changer. If you want to get more offers and exclusive offers, use the link down below with the link in the description. Thank you to Huel for sponsoring the video. And lastly, as you guys know, I was trying to break the world record for the world's heaviest marathon, where I was rucking with 100 kilos on my back for 28 miles. And I was also doing 450 miles over 10 days with 25 kilos on my back as I ran through the Scottish Highlands to get a headstone back to my son's grave. We did it, guys. The mission is complete. And I wanted to say thank you to everybody who supported us. The true mission is still there. The raising money for other bereaved parents is still active right now. And until the documentary comes out, the donations page is still open. If you want to help support this project, there is a link down below for a GoFundMe where all the donations are going to bereaved parents to get them headstones. We're also doing an ice bath giveaway. Brass Monkey are giving a giveaway for our British viewers. You can make a £5 donation and the money goes to the charity and you get a chance to win the Brass Monkey ice bath. Thank you for all your support as always. Have a blessed and productive day, and I'll see you in the next one where we find more inspiring stories. Peace.